it's our first morning here in Darjeeling, and it is so much cooler in the sunlight than it was at night. I mean, you can't see the view of the mountains yet, you'll see it later, but check out that rooftop patio. That looks like a sweet spot we need to check out. That's our hotel. What an amazingly quaint little town to be in. It was highly recommended as the spot to go here in Darjeeling for breakfast or picnic sandwiches that you can take with you.
Yeah, that's a road. And this is porridge. And it's awesome. It's got honey, bananas, cashews, it's got coconut, raisins, and more of this amazing, creamy, delicious milk. So good.
I got some fried eggs over here, some delicious fried tomatoes, and an amazing hash brown.
Those tomatoes look awesome.
And they are. This is great because she says that she's never seen how hash browns actually look like, but this is actually pretty close. It's like a roasty hash brown hybrid. It's fantastic.
Now the cool thing about this is that it's not a McDonald's, it's not even like a Tibetan restaurant per se. When it says this is Sonam's kitchen, that's Sonam. This is her kitchen. And there's room for maybe, 15 people to squeeze in, or like 8 to be comfortable. And yeah, it's just the most honest food you can get.
This is Sonam. She's awesome. This is her first year in the Lonely Planet Guide.
That's why I'm very happy.
I bet you this food here is pretty good. Mad pony. Looks so similar.
It's the hair.
I'm loving the hats, except I think if I get one, I'm just gonna look like a Vancouverite, and really, who wants that? Look at all the leg warmers. As a Canadian, I think I am at liberty to get excited about that. Obviously, the rest of India, you don't need leg warmers, but up here in Canada, I'm overwhelmed by all the pashmina. So I bought myself a new shawl. It's very, very pretty. Apparently it's one of the more expensive ones around here because it's made out of a much better material and higher quality. I didn't get the details on why exactly, but it's nice. We broke our camera on the first day that we were here. We bought local batteries in Mumbai, close to the gateway of India, and apparently it busted our camera. We're here in Darjeeling, and it is too gorgeous not to have any photographs, so we're getting another digital camera.
So you can capture up to 12
Perfect.
This is heavy traffic in Darjeeling.
In Darjeeling, but I remember on our way up, there were certainly cars going down as well. So, as crazy as it seems, I think these narrow streets are used for both directions.
So this is definitely the main roundabout coming up to Darjeeling with a man with a machine gun directing traffic. So you know he means business. But we were looking for the train station, and it did sort of make the most sense to just follow the tracks, and it looks like it worked.
Walking past the train station, we saw this really interesting looking temple, and don't really know how to get to the temple, but we're just kind of going towards that direction. Found this archway with an interesting looking trident, and if you look at the temple up there, it looks like it might have a similar trident. I don't know if it's a coincidence, I don't know if it's a sign, but either way, I'm gonna try and walk towards it. So here we are. Looks like we were on the right path and we made it in. It turns out it's a Hindu temple. I don't know very much more about it. All the information written on the side is in a language I cannot even begin to try to understand. What an image, eh? You're in temple, flowers, and then it's like really ancient, old-looking buildings. Okay, so met these ladies at the train station. They have beautiful scarves. I don't know what to do.
And they found you again.
These locals are amazingly persistent with everything. So I feel like I was fated that I ran into them again, and so we had to buy a scarf. We managed to get it for 110. They were asking for like 3, so I guess it's a win, and it is a very nice scarf.
This curious building has been calling to us kind of all day, so hopefully at some point we're going to get a chance to go there.
Since we're in a town built on a mountain, there's certainly a lot of these.
I'm not sure if it's owned by Canadians, but there's definitely a Land Rover Jeep sort of faring company that goes up and down the mountain, and they've got Canadian flags on them, so I kind of feel like I'm at home.
I think you can agree with me that we found pretty much the cutest patio in Darjeeling with the greatest view. Here's an interesting little tidbit. Darjeeling tea in North America is what we consider a type of tea. When you come to Darjeeling, you get pretty much any tea you get back home. There's green tea, white teas, black teas. They all just happen to be from Darjeeling. So I'm drinking a green tea from Darjeeling right now.
This is a tea, which in Darjeeling would be pretty much what the British decided to plant here from China and Nepal. Basically, when the East India Trade Company was here, they decided instead of having to buy stuff from the Chinese, they would plant everything in pretty much the same kind of environment, and then Britain would be able to make their own tea, which is why Darjeeling tea, with its fancy Indian name, tastes a hell of a lot like straight up British tea. I've got to say, hot cream with tea and coffee is so much more civilized than back home. The first time we came up this road, we thought, oh, these stairs are so difficult. We must be exhausted. Oh my God, I just can't breathe in this air because we're so high up in the altitude. And then today we realized they're all off by about an inch or 2 from one another. So it's not exhaustion that makes us trip up these stairs. It's the fact that they're not exactly the same height.
The hotel has these super cute common rooms, and it's just for people who don't quite want to go outside, because after about 10 o'clock, the hotelier here would actually prefer that you don't. And, you know, it's a nice little spot to hang out, get some tea, and not quite have to be back in your room yet.
We're standing in line to this unknown thing that we came here for. It sounds like there might be some sort of relics here, something that is sacred and holy, regardless of your faith. And we were giving these. I believe they were called kandas. I'm not sure what they're used for, but I'm sure we'll observe and find out.
We just went through the lineup, the chanting, and what turned out to be 3 relics. It seems like 2 of them were the disciples of Buddha, and one of them was Buddha himself. Small, like the size of a puppy's baby tooth things underneath essentially a crystal magnifying glass, yeah. It was kind of fascinating, seriously long line, and you can kind of see why. But, wow, what an experience.